Okay guys, we're going to start with unit vectors. I did a little introduction at the end of last lesson. Unit vectors, a unit vector has the same direction of the original vector, but it has a magnitude of only 1. So if I had a vector that was in the straight I direction or in the straight X direction, the unit vector would just be 1I. Same thing is if it was in the J direction. If I had a vector that was 6J, the unit vector, because it's only going in the Y direction, would just be 1J because they always have a magnitude of 1. Now, when does it get a little trickier? If you have a vector that goes like this, but you want the unit vector of it. So you want the piece of this vector in the exact same direction, but it has a magnitude of only 1. So the way we find that is with this formula. Our unit vector equals the original vector over the magnitude of that vector. So I'm going to show you how to do it over the next few problems, and then you'll start to understand it. So in this case, I'm going to show you the long way, even though you really could use the short way to figure this one out. It says find the unit vector u having the same direction as v. Well, v is negative 5i, so a vector going negative 5i just means it's going 5 units to the left, right? Well, the unit vector is going to be in the same direction, but only have a magnitude of 1. So your unit vector is just a little piece of that vector, and it's just going to be negative I, right? Well, here's the long way of doing it. I want to show you how to use the formula. So what you do is you find the magnitude of vector v. Well, the magnitude of vector v is 5 squared plus 0 squared and the square root. The magnitude is 5, which makes sense, right? So then to find your unit vector, you take your original vector, which is technically negative 5i plus 0j, and you put each component over the magnitude. So here what I did is I put negative 5 over the magnitude 5i plus 0 over 5j. So once this simplifies, this still goes to 0, and your unit vector is just negative 1i, or negative I. Now, let's look at the next one. It might make a little more sense if we use one that has both the I and the J components. So, if I go up to the top on the last page, I'm trying to make sure I'm in the right spot for you. If I go up to the top on the last page, we're also going to have a unit vector, but now our vector is going, it's I minus 6j. So it goes over 1 in the x and down 6 in the j. So we have to find our magnitude of our vector. So it's the square root of 1 squared plus 6 squared. So it's the square root of 37. So what do? We just put each component over the square root of 37. So here, my unit vector becomes 1 over the square root of 37i minus 6 over the square root of 37j. That's my unit vector. It's not any more challenging than that. Let me know if you have questions on unit vectors. So really this unit vector is just this little piece here that has a magnitude of 1, but it's in the same direction. Now we're going to go in the opposite direction. We're going to be given, we're going to find a vector from a direction and a magnitude. These are probably the most challenging, but the most useful problems.